What's happening? What's happening? Happy Wednesday to y'all. Happy Juneteenth to all my ballers out there. We out here. It's your boy Matt Marshall. Watching the Euros, watching the end of this Germany hungry game. Germany looking hungry. No pun intended. Actually, all the puns intended. They're balling. But we talking Copa America today. Copa America starts tomorrow. Argentina versus Australia. I'm tripping. Argentina versus Canada. It's that kind of day. So we're going to talk about what chances do the U.S. have to win anything, or where they're going to place, what Argentina is going to do, and what I guess Brazil's going to do. I guess those are the three things I'm talking about. I'm mainly kind of coming at this from a U.S. perspective because I really just don't understand the Argentinian team, and I understand the Brazilian team even less. Copa America is a very interesting tournament. It's very different from the Euros or the World Cup or any other tournament. It's a completely different style of play. And so we're going to have to see who's going to be successful. What's happening? I'm talking to my folks on Instagram who've tapped in. Willy Wonka, Dos Edgar, Antonio, the Nardi Soccer siblings. What's happening? My boy Paul, SA973, Forsaken, saying, no, bro, Argentina going to win. Everybody is looking at Argentina, but their record in the Copa America is, they've gotten to quite a few finals. Finally won it. The last Copa America, and then, obviously won the World Cup. They're ranked number 1 in the world, but I just, the team, we're going to look at the team. LAFC Lunatic, what's happening, bro? U.S. can't win Copa. Stop smoking, says Paul. Andres joined the chat. Jamil Noguera Devers joined the chat. What's happening to all of y'all? Welcome. And we going to go through it. Again, I'm going to really be talking more about the U.S. team. I've been following them for quite a while. Rue Sherm is tapped in. My boy A93 otherwise on Instagram has tapped in with us, talking Colombia for Copa winners. We're going to talk about Colombia because they're real interesting. If you look at what they've accomplished just in the qualifying and their last international friendlies, they're actually a good team. They obviously smashed, beat the brakes off of the U.S., had another couple of results. I want to say they beat Brazil. We're going to look at all of that very shortly. Actually, let's just bring one of my things up. So we're going to figure all of that out. Lancelot, what's happening? Hey, EPB. Bom dia, my boy Lancelot. We're here. I'm not going to be on for this for too long. This is not a watch party. This is just a little ball around the world where I want to come tap in with y'all and see what y'all think and have y'all tell me Uruguay or Colombia will win it all, says Lancelot. All interesting takes. I got to be honest. All very interesting. Uruguay are a really interesting team. They're in the same group as the U.S., but I could really see the U.S. beating Uruguay. As crazy as that sounds, it's not that crazy. Obviously, Uruguay's got some players, but again, they don't have a fully stocked team, outside of, huge names like Darwin Núñez, which it's a big name, but is he a big player like that? Time will tell. Obviously Fede Valverde of Real Madrid fame. They've got, players. We're going to talk about it. The U.S. does traditionally pretty well against Uruguay, by the way. I think in the last 7 meetings, they've lost once. They've only won twice in those last 7 too. But again, that bodes better for the USA, just those grimy, gutter, grinded out kind of games. Can the U.S. do that with this, newfound love of possession and whatnot? If you're tapping in with me on Instagram, I appreciate you tapping in. I'm gonna stay live this whole time for this whole ball around the world. But if you want a better viewing experience, roll on over to YouTube, youtube.com/@eatprayball. That's for my folks on TikTok too as well. Come tap in with me. Come make sure you like, subscribe. That's how you can really support me. We out here just trying to be a fan of the game. Been loving the Euros, but I swear to God, I'm super excited for Copa America, especially, it's in America, in the United States, I should say, this year. And I'm going to see Brazil play on Monday against Costa Rica. We're going to talk about that too. The boy Jared has tapped in on Instagram. Your dark horse is Uruguay. Paul says Messi playing this Copa America, enjoying football without any pressure. That's a fact. But for that same reason, Forsaken, I feel like that's why Argentina actually won't do as well as they did in the World Cup, because all the pressure was on them for sure. Lancelot says, big name, small results for Uruguay. He said, look at Brazil, big name, small results. Uruguay, he says, doesn't need big names. My boy 893 says, call me an Argentinian hater, but I really don't want to see them win another trophy. I'm big facts on that. I'm an Argentinian hater as well. I honestly didn't think they had a good team in the World Cup, but they just had the whole of the world, the whole of Argentina, and the whole of Messi fans, which he's got billions, kind of behind him in that way. So we gonna see. Cesar Gulari joined. The boy Giorgio Blamo and Major Himbo. What's happening, y'all? Major Himbo. We can win the World Cup, but not with Berhalter. Yeah, we can. We're gonna talk about. I'm not gonna lay into Gregg Triple G Berhalter too much today. We all know how we feel about him. It's kind of like how pay to play is blamed in America for being the one thing that's stopping Americans from growing in soccer. It's absolutely not just one thing. It's absolutely not just Berhalter. But Berhalter is a big point to all of this, and we're gonna have to see. I personally am not a fan of Berhalter, not because of what he hasn't what he's accomplished with the U.S. He's got a great record with the U.S. I just thought after the controversy and all that, it was time to move on. It wasn't time to kind of go backwards. We had already lost almost unceremoniously in the round of 16 in the World Cup, and it was clearly outcoached. Right, we definitely had the players. We just got outcoached by a Holland team who's hungry. That same Holland team is hungry. They play France on Friday. We don't see that. Come tap in with me on the watch party because I'm definitely going to be watching that. So there's a lot of stuff. Major Himbo said, Triple L. Giorgio Blamo said, lies, I made Messi my GOAT. Listen, he is not my GOAT. He is the GOAT. He's unequivocally the GOAT. It's all based on stats, trophies, and all of that. And that's just what it is. Cristiano Ronaldo, if I'm comparing the two, will always be my GOAT. Come on, bro. But I had to put it out there. I said, yo, if Messi wins this tournament, which was the World Cup, which they had no business winning, I said, he's the GOAT. And again, in no other form had I seen any kind of, amount of energy and people crowding behind this man, willing him to go lift this trophy, especially against a super stacked France squad who made it a game. So we're off the World Cup. That was years ago. We're in 2024 now. We're all ready for this Copa America. And Copa is a different tournament. Let's not get it twisted. Remember, Copa America is a tournament that made Messi retire. Again, my GOAT don't retire. My GOAT plays until he can't play no more. But some GOATs do retire and then come back when they feel a little bit better. And that's what our boy down in Miami is doing. I didn't mean to go this in on Messi. I actually have, now that I've accepted him as the GOAT, have come to appreciate him a lot more, especially what he's doing in the U.S. So there's a lot of stuff. Tapping in on YouTube, my boy Rusherm says retro USA jersey is fire. We here. I mean, we ready. I'm definitely going to be rocking some of these retro. I know you see this one back here, the 98 World Cup one. Yeah, we here. Appreciate that. Everybody has his own GOAT. Sir Lancelot. Facts. Who's your GOAT, Lancelot? Somebody might just be like, Ronaldinho's my GOAT, which completely fair. Ronaldo Fenomeno is their GOAT. I'm just looking at stats, numbers, facts, longevity, all that. And when you look at the two of the top, who's got the best stats, the best amount of trophies individually and for club and for country, it's Cristiano and it's Messi, for real. Pele's, short second, because Pele was doing it before anybody could even fathom doing it, right? I think Messi just surpassed Pele's goal scoring record. So yeah. The problem is, Sir Lancelot says, people don't respect your opinion. And that's what's fun about the sport, though. Everybody's got opinions. People still talk about Michael Jordan and whomever, but we out here. Major Himbo on Instagram says, clearly the coach. They scored 3 goals completely identical. In other words, Kroos trash for still being able to play and retiring. Kroos is going out on top, and he might go out, the way Germany's looking in this tournament, he might go out on top, tippy top. If you think about Kroos, again, we're going to get to Copa America. This is all about Copa America, but guys want to talk to me about Euros. Kroos is, hello from Russia, says Lessig. Kroos is the best generation of this, the most decorated generation of midfielder of this generation, for sure, with a total of 7 Champions Leagues, a World Cup for Germany. Doesn't have a Euro, so this would be the last thing he needs to add to his list. I mean, honestly, this could be Kroos' Ballon d'Or year, to be honest. But we'll talk about that. Giorgio Obama, Colombia looks the strongest, no cap. I'm kind of up there with you, bro. Colombia hasn't lost in over 6-7 matches, probably even more than that. That's just as far back as I watched. They've been absolutely handling teams. That's what I was looking at. Let me show you one time. Pull this out for a second. Let me show you what Colombia was doing. What Colombia is looking like. But before we go too far in that, let's just take a look at all of the at the brackets, at the groups. We're here, Copa America groups. Cha. Oh, this is a cool way to view these. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to use World Soccer Talk's bracket. Their bracket is actually pretty dope. Let's take a look at this. Who is with me? So we got Group A. Let's see. Hold on. Let me pop it up for y'all so y'all can see along with me. Again, if you're joining me on TikTok or Instagram, come tap in. Come tap in on YouTube, youtube.com/@eatprayball. And let's chat about it a little bit. We got man, the groups didn't pop up. Here they are. No, we want this one. This is World Soccer Talks bracket. Unfortunately, there's no commendable fillable bracket like there was with UEFA, which is mad unfortunate because I love doing it and it's dope. But unfortunately, we don't have that. So we're just have to kind of fill in the bracket by ourselves and see what we can do with it. My computer's acting slow, so I'm going to quit some things. Come take a look at these groups one time, and let's see if US can really get through. We're gonna like literally take US through their paces, and then I'm gonna kind of look at the US team as a whole. I'm gonna use EAFC 24 to do it. I have my my sticks somewhere, my Xbox sticks, but we'll find it. Let's take a look at these groups. Group A, Argentina, Peru, Chile, and Canada. It says Canada and Trinidad, but we've already found out Trinidad is out of the tournament. Where is my where's my thing? So with this group, I'm just curious what y'all are thinking. It does look like pretty easily Argentina will make it out of this group. I don't see Chile providing any problems. I think, you know, Alexis Sanchez is still the best player on that squad. Yeah, Canada probably will provide the most by way of problems, I think. They're an interesting team. They got a new coach in Jesse Marsch, the American New York Red Bulls guy who kind of brought that high octane, high press kind of system out of the Northeast all the way over to where was he at? Leipzig, Salzburg? Can't even remember at this point. But he's been all over. He's a good coach. He was tapped to possibly come coach the U.S. I don't think that would have been as helpful either for us the U.S. You know, that's just another that's another story. But he might bring something to Canada. Canada have a lot of athletes. They got the boy Jonathan David up top. They got Taj Buchanan, who is over at Inter Milan. Obviously they got Alphonso Davies, and who knows where Alphonso will play, whether he'll play up in the wing back, up in like the wing position, like he's been doing for Canada. But yeah, they got a team. That is the opener tomorrow, right? So I'm gonna stream live. I'm gonna do a watch party for anybody who's just watching along. Come tap in with me on YouTube. We're gonna be watching. Let me see what folks have to say. Folks on the chat. Folks are on the Instagram chat heavy. Y'all hop over to YouTube so I can show your messages. Rue Sherman, I'm going to show you in a second. The Nardi Soccer Siblings on Instagram said, what about that US versus Colombia match? Definitely not encouraging. Not encouraging at all. Again, though, Colombia has been on an absolute tear. I'm telling y'all, like, I swear this thing is not showing me. I mean, they smashed the US. They smashed Bolivia, who the U.S. plays first up on Sunday. They smashed Bolivia 3-0. They smashed us 1-5. They who else did they beat? They've been beating everybody. They beat Ecuador. I mean, they've literally been on a tear, and they're really looking like they have something to prove. They also look like a team. They also look like they know what they're doing. James Rodriguez is still in the fold. We're gonna see how he does. Sorry, I'm just looking up. I'm looking at the Hungarian players in this game that they just lost to Germany. They're over here saluting their fans in a very not traditional. I don't want to say non-traditional. It's probably traditional to them, but not what I'm used to seeing. So yeah, I mean, Colombia has been on an absolute tear. It's tough to just be like, that US game was tough. It was tough. We didn't look good. We applied the same tactics with just a couple of different subs in the game against Brazil, and we ended up tying Brazil. So what does that mean? Does that mean Colombia is just bossing and they're going to be better than everybody, and Brazil is not playing as well? Or does that mean we didn't play to our potential in that game? There's a lot of things to think about. Giorgio Blamo said, unless Bellingham wins, Copa America Ballon d'Or transition. Can Vinny get Ballon d'Or if he wins Copa America? That's a good question. I think yes, absolutely. I think Vinny will get Ballon d'Or if Brazil win Copa America, even though Brazil are second favorites in this tournament. Yeah, I mean that he would have had the most winningest and most impact on his teams in the most winningest season. So yeah, Vinny will definitely win Ballon d'Or. Whoever rates higher for their national team, Vinny, since he scored in the final. Yeah, you guys talking about Vinny in the Ballon d'Or. It was a bad performance by the U.S. It was a bad performance by the U.S. We performed a lot better against Brazil. So again, you can't really measure these things until we're out of the friendly stage and up on real competition. Let's see what my folks on YouTube saying. Lancelot, we talking about goats. He asked, who's my goat? George Weah. Rusharm says, George Weah is my GOAT. Only African player to win the Ballon d'Or. Very fair. Big facts. Unfortunately, I never saw George Weah play before my eyes, so I can't, it's tough to say, like Pele was my GOAT just because he was everybody's GOAT, right? Just like Jordan was everybody's GOAT. But I never really saw Pele play. So, yeah, my GOAT is honestly, and y'all are going to laugh at me. My GOAT is between Ronaldo, Fenomeno, Neymar, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Those are my goats. Paul Pogba is on the short list too. So like, I got different goats around it. It's a beautiful thing when you're picking out your favorite players in soccer. But definitely those are up there. Drogba's a man. There's no one. There's no one. When I look at it, the whole table, the whole, across the board. And again, I include stats, longevity, trophies won, individual awards won. It's definitely, we've never ever seen anything like a Cristiano Messi rivalry in La Liga, and we never will again. I don't. Everybody tried to throw Erling Haaland up with Kylian Mbappe, but Kylian Mbappe is this generation's talent. Like there's nobody else even close to Kylian Mbappe. Cry about it if you don't agree. Rusharm says Canada under Jesse Marsh will be something to see. I think I agree. Don't forget, they tied France, and they played attacking football in that game. Obviously, France didn't play the best. France missed some opportunities. But, Canada could be something interesting. They could surprise Argentina tomorrow. And you know how Argentina starts off tournaments. So we'll have to see. Colombia will kick Brazil's ass, Lancelot says. R9 was a different level, crazy player. R9 was such a different level. The issue with R9 is that his longevity. And again, I factor that into goathood too. Like, between the knee injuries, which I got a knee injury going on myself. So I understand how that feels. But clearly the guy had the ability. He was the only player that I think any top team would allow to play that overweight. I've seen Rooney play overweight, but outside of that, like you're not just bringing in your talisman and he's, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight. Anyway, Nardi Soccer Sibling said on IG, top Ballon d'Or contestants, Foden, Vinny, Bellingham, and Kane. Y'all need to listen. We're going to see how England play tomorrow, but this whole Foden thing, bruh, I just cannot. It's very tough outside of Messi. Anybody else who's coming out of Pep's system, it's just very tough to call him. I honestly think Pep, even though he allowed Raheem Sterling to carry his team for a couple of years. I think Pep stifled Raheem Sterling in terms of that innate ability to just attack players. Like Pep is a very systematic coach. Arteta's there. Maresca is going to probably follow behind, but hopefully he allows our Chelsea players to play with freedom. But I don't know about Phil Foden. Vinny for sure. Jude Bellingham for sure. Harry Kane for sure. I'd got to throw probably, Leverkusen was more of a team thing. There was not one player. But honestly, Jude Bellingham's the front runner. Like Harry Kane scored the most goals of anybody this year. Good for him as a striker, but they didn't win shit. They didn't even win Bundesliga, which they've won the last 12 years, right? Jude Bellingham, like this Real Madrid team was technically in a rebuild, lost their talisman and Benzema, got some old heads who are just, getting older and older, and Modric coming off the bench, and Kroos who's retiring. It's kind of crazy in that way. So, but Bellingham, if you think about it, I went through and counted. He had over seven game winners this year from that number 10 position. Obviously he scored, some over 20 goals, had almost 10 assists. It was crazy, so it's, and now obviously you see what he's doing for England in the Euros. Like it's really Bellingham's to lose at this point. Foden's not impressive right now. Yeah. Major Himbo says US need to stick to one play style and stop combining and throwing spaghetti at the wall. Play on the counter. We have the players for it, or isolate Pulisic in the third space. Counter is not. I mean, Balogun is good on the counter. Maybe Tim Weah would be a little bit better on the counter. Not really sure, though. Counter is not the game we want to play with this U.S. I understand this U.S. team, they want to be possession-based. We're playing a very, Germanic/Spanish style under Berhalter, and it's all well and dandy. It's really the risk-taking that I have the problem with. That's why I really loved players like Sergino Dest. Unfortunately, he's injured for this tournament. It's still why I'm okay with, a player like Haji Wright coming in. Because at some points they aren't, Haji's been playing kind of scared, but at some points these players aren't playing scared. Weston McKennie doesn't play scared. Obviously he goes into tackles, gets his confidence from his defense, but he's up and down that field. Pulisic, when Pulisic puts on the Captain America jersey, bruh, he really does become Captain America. Like, I cannot lie. That man has scored some clutch goals, whether it's a free kick, whether it's a penalty kick. He's actually trying to attack players. I'm pretty impressed with him. I'm going to let you guys go in the chat while I go ahead and kind of try to call out what we'll be able to do with this Copa America bracket. So I'm pretty sure Group A, even though I do think Canada will fare well against Argentina and will do well in the group, I'm pretty sure Canada's making it out of that group. Matter of fact, can I, since I can't do a fillable bracket, I think I'm going to try to open Photoshop and do it in there. Again, this is the World Soccer Shop bracket. Let's see if we can do this. I might be going too slow. We might just have to use our imaginations, but let's try it out, shall we? Hold up. Computer's acting hella slow today, but I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. Let's see what we got for this. Definitely Argentina is going to top the group. I think I'm pretty satisfied with that thought process. Who else? Let's go to, what do we got here? What are you guys seeing? All right, I need to refresh this page. Things are not working. Let's take a look. That's right. I forgot Lancelot is Brazilian, and he's talking about Colombia is going to kick Brazil's ass. Y'all don't listen to what Ronaldinho said. Ronaldinho was just trying to galvanize his team. I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't recognize my team. We've heard many players say stuff like that before. I think that's just what they say to get a rise out of people. Let's reload this site. Let's take this. Our midfield is so static. I agree. I don't necessarily agree, Himbo. I think the U.S. midfield is good. I would love to see Tyler Adams in that midfield. If you're talking about static, you must be talking about Gio Reyna. I think Gio Reyna is absolutely a ball stopper. And again, he can play. Like I think I prefer him at the 6 role, but he can't tackle. So really, I only prefer him at the 6 role because he actually can ping balls around. He has a good sense of playing of game. Game. He's got good game IQ. But if and I'll do this in a little bit. I'm gonna hop on FIFA and just do like a little lineup once I can find my Xbox controller, which is right in front of me. We're gonna do that in a second, but I wouldn't start Gio Reyna, and so we'll go into the lineups. Let's just go through the bracket. AA Ron, otherwise known as A23, A93 on TikTok, and Rusherm. He says, I don't think they have the clinical goal scorers to play counter against top world teams. Against teams like Netherlands, maybe, but top teams can't see it happening. I don't know if the technical ability is there to try and play possession. I think Andres, I think the technical ability is there for sure. I think that we don't have a problem with. What we have a problem with is when we get into these possession style, can we actually create from it? And I don't think we can. So I agree with you. This possession style that Berhalter is doing, actually, it's kind of the play out of the back style. Berhalter is trying to bring pressure so that we can be comfortable enough to possess and then try to break out a Balogun on the through balls, break out a Christian Pulisic. So we are kind of absorbing pressure, but we also, when we get into their final third, we don't have really options. We don't have guys who are trying to shoot the ball. So we're really going to be just kind of passing around. And again, that's why I like players like Haji Wright, Ricardo Pepi. Like, we can utilize our wings and try to make good crosses as well. I don't know why we can't do that, but yeah, Lancelot's talking about Dino's comments. He said a lot of people agreed on what he said. This is something that's been happening for the last couple of years. I'm going to make one comment on that when it comes to Brazil. And I will just say, he says most of them are good for their clubs, but not for the country. I just want to say this just lets you know how important Neymar has been to Brazil over the past 10 years, really, that, the second he's out, this team looks like it's a real problem. Like, literally nobody but Neymar you can count on to get you stuff. But again, that's just me digressing. You know how I feel about Neymar. Andres says, I think the U.S. should give up trying to possess the ball and play into their strengths, be physical and counter. I agree with be physical and counter. The counter issue is a little up in the air because we don't have the defense to soak up pressure and counter, right? So we're almost trying to, that's why Berhalter is doing this play out of the back thing, because we can only really counter on offense. We're not organized enough to sit back. We don't have the defenders to sit back. And I mean, Tim Ream's damn near 40 years old. He's not, but I mean, it feels like it. He's certainly not athletic enough. We do have Miles Robinson on the U.S. squad. Cameron Carter-Vickers has gotten some run too. I'm curious if Berhalter at any point is going to think about switching up the center back. Obviously, Chris Richards is our staple, the Crystal Palace man. He's going to be that guy. Joe Scally has proven that he can, compete with the best. Going up against Luis Diaz against Colombia and doing pretty well. Luis Diaz, I think, scored in that game, but I mean, who didn't score in that game? But the bigger test was Vinny Jr., and he did pretty well against him. So it looks like Joe Scally is going to definitely start in that right back position. And then we have Jedi Robinson running up that left flank, and again, he kind of gets out of position a little bit too much, but he certainly is helpful in that attack and will be helpful with Pulisic. So we're gonna have to see. AA Ron says, I don't think we have the clinical goal scorers to play counter against top world teams. Yeah, it's the goal scoring that we're missing. So, like, again, that's why I guess we are trying to bring pressure. We're not soaking it because, we lose the ball often, and we definitely can't defend in a strong block. But we definitely need to get in space behind these defenses. And we're going to see, I mean, it's Copa America. Like, these CONMEBOL teams are going to be high pressure in the midfield. They're going to be hard tackling, but there's going to be instances where if we keep our cool, we might be able to knock around these teams and find ways to get in the goal. But right now it seems like, the best way we can score is to get fouled somewhere close to the box and get set pieces popping, which is pretty sad to say. Let's see. Major Himbo says it's easier to score on the counter without a dominant forward. Playing counter against a team like France, that's a long day. Yo, we are well. I love the passion, but we ain't at the World Cup yet. We got to see what we do in the Copa America. Let's see what countering a team like Colombia will do. Obviously we learned from it. I don't think we're going to play out of the back as freely. But again, we did it against Brazil and it was a lot better. What type of style would you like to see them play, Aaron? That's a great question. Aaron, go ahead and pull that. You know what I want to see. I want to see us have possession in the back. I want to see us be bold in the midfield and play long diagonal balls and find our skill players and Pulisic and Weah early. And I want to see us get the ball into the box early. Again, we'll probably start Balogun. Balogun is clinical. He's more off the run, so we have to figure out ways to spring him. I don't think that is really our DNA for this team. So Balogun is honestly, unfortunately, despite how good of a player he is, he's not being utilized to the best of his abilities. I think Ricardo Pepi would be a better player and even a better starter in this system. We'll talk about that a little bit too. Let's get down to business. I'm going to share this screen. What is this? Photoshop. Yeah, we in Photoshop. Let's do that. This is going to be the way that we figure out how to kind of make this a fillable bracket and talk about who really is going. So Argentina, I'm already gonna put them up there. They just look like they're gonna make it A1. Oh man, this Photoshop ain't shopping. Man. We're going to go here, but we want to duplicate option. There it is. All right, so Argentina is going to be an A1. If y'all can see along, this is probably the best way we can do it. Again, no fillable brackets on the CONMEBOL website. I think Canada is going to come out A2. I know it says Canada Trinity right now, but that's Canada. We're just going to keep it like that. And move it. Where is A2 going to go? A2 is going to go at the bottom of the bracket. So it's interesting that you still stay on the same side of your bracket as your group stage. Group B, Mexico, Ecuador, Venezuela, Jamaica. That's like the most mediocre group. I can't, it's tough. I can't even call it because all these teams are really not the best. Jamaica, I want to do a lot better than I think they will do. It's good that they're in this Copa America. I think it's good experience for them. They're missing one of their one of the big names of their team, the boy Leon Bailey playing for Villa. Had a great season this year under Unai Emery. He's just not feeling the federation or how they do things. So, but they do have Michael Antonio, the West Ham big man, who I think his style of play really would suit Copa America even better, more so than in World Cup qualifying when Jamaica was trying to do things, or in the Nations League. I think, having a big actual striker, and me, I love big man things. I love big strikers. Excited to see him do his thing for Jamaica. Unfortunately, though, I don't necessarily see Jamaica getting out of this group. Honestly, they might be bottom of the group. I don't want it to be, but I'm going to go ahead. Mexico just doesn't look like much to me at all. Again, I'm not going to really be analyzing these teams today. I'm really going to be talking about the U.S. So I'm just going to do this fast. I'm going to go ahead and say Ecuador is going to finish first. Yeah, I'm going to say Ecuador is finishing first. And I'm really just filling out this bracket in order to just see where the U.S. can finish and what they would need to do. So did I do Ecuador or Venezuela? I'm tripping. Let me see. Computer's acting slow. Yeah, Ecuador's finishing first in this group. I'm going to go ahead and say, man, Mexico, Venezuela, or Jamaica. I want Jamaica to get out of this group. They have everything they need to possibly get out of this group, but it's going to be tough. But again, nobody in this group is really showing anything. I think Mexico will do well. Mexico is essentially going to be playing every game as if it's a home game. You know how that goes out here. I can't see. I really can't see Jamaica doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Mexico coming out second, just because they have a little bit of a home field advantage. I don't see Venezuela doing a damn thing. So that's just it. That's just is what it is. We'll have Mexico come out second, and put them on this side of the bracket. So then it'll be Argentina, Mexico, Venezuela, Canada. I'm sorry, Ecuador versus Canada. Let's go on this side of the bracket. Okay. U.S., Uruguay. What a crazy group. Bolivia. What a crazy group. Okay. U.S., Uruguay. Why am I? Bear with me. I'm still working on the these the slow computer, but we here. Yeah, US, Uruguay, Bolivia, Panama. Is that Panama? Yeah, Panama's in our group C. And then group D is Brazil, Colombia, Paraguay, and Costa Rica. What are we seeing out of this group? I need some crowdsourcing for these. I think America can top this group. I definitely think the US can top this group. I know people are talking about Uruguay and they're good. Again, we have a pretty good record against Uruguay, so it's very possible. It's not. It's honestly, we need to start showing that we got world players. You know, we got players. Obviously, Uruguay's got players who play for the likes of Real Madrid, Liverpool. But we got top players too. We got Juventus players. We got AC Milan starters. We got ballers on our team. Musa, also a player that has to be in. We're gonna get to the US lineup in a second. So for me, US is topping this group. AA Ron says, I'll be honest, I think Gregg's head is in the area, but it's the smaller details that we're missing out on. Big facts. Like, I don't think Gregg is just poor, but I do think there's two sides to managing, right? There's the tactician side, right? The Pep side. And then there's as a direct comparison, there's the Ancelotti side, right? There's the giving your players the ability to go out there and perform at their best, right? And that's a Jose Mourinho kind of style as well. I don't think Gregg is really putting these players in positions where they really feel confident that they're going to just go ball out. That's why I like the players like Sergino Dest, who, undersized, maybe not the best defender, but put me at this wing back. I'm going to go up and embarrass somebody, maybe get a shot off, maybe make a play. We need that kind of stuff. Weston McKennie, I'm looking to see more out of him. He's the biggest personality on the U.S. I want to see a little bit more kind of personality in these games. Right now he's doing his hardest, especially with Tyler Adams out, to just kind of hold the team together. That's what I saw in the friendlies. We didn't get to see him kind of really put his stamp on the game, but he's honestly one of the most important players on this U.S. team. AA Ron says, our transition game is poor. We have no answers when trying to break teams down in the box. More movement, more patience, and probing. I think it has to be a mixture of possession and counter. It can be so restricted sometimes. And I agree with you. Sometimes it looks like we just run out of ideas, when I would really like, and this is what everybody thinks of Gio Reyna. I would really like somebody to just beat a player in the midfield and get a shot off. We did do that against Brazil. I mean, we did that a little bit against Colombia too. We were getting these kind of weak shots off, but it was clear that Gregg was like, yo, we need to come out here a little bit more confident and really do the damn thing. So we're going to see. Again, do I want Gregg as my World Cup coach? No. I think it will be time to then push further and improve, but we can get some kind of confidence and get some kind of result from this tournament. So again, US, they top in Group C. You heard it from me first here in the retro jersey. I'm going with the boys, the US. We need a better chant than USA too. We need something with a little flavor. We're going to work on that. So C1 is going to be playing in Vegas July 6th. I got tickets to that. I'm going to be there. So I'm really hoping that pans out. We also got Uruguay, who's going to come very close second. I think the US will need to put their goal scoring boots on Sunday against Bolivia in order to kind of beat out. I think the Uruguay game will be a draw. We're going to see. Brazil, Colombia. I know Colombia's playing really well. I know Brazil don't look right, yada, yada, yada. Brazil's topping this group, bro. Brazil is topping this group. I know they don't look the best, but they got the best players. Pound for pound, almost everywhere by comparison to Colombia. So we just gonna go ahead and drop them over there. D1 in Glendale, Arizona. And then I'm tripping. We're gonna put Uruguay, who is oh man. The crimes. We got to put Uruguay over here on C2 because they're going to play Brazil and they're going to lose to Brazil. And then it's US Colombia, right? I don't like that. It's either Colombia or Brazil for the US. That shit. That is tough. Either Colombia or Brazil for the US. We actually might want. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I was about to say we might want to come out of this group second, but it really doesn't matter. We need to come and bring that fire. I even have the unnecessary US playing scared mentality. That's like the craziest thing. Lancelot says Venezuela is in 4th place in the qualifiers for World Cup 2026. That doesn't mean a lot coming out of CONMEBOL. Don't they only get 2 from CONMEBOL? I got to double check that. It's 2 or 3, but I'm not seeing Venezuela do much. They're not a good team. We can go back and look at their record, but I haven't seen them do much. And I do think the home field advantage of Mexico, the home vibes advantage, I should say, will do something. So we'll double check on that. Let me move this. I'm tripping. If the U.S. come out first, oh, yeah, then Colombia has to come out second. And I have Colombia coming out second in this group. So it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, C2. C2 is going to be Uruguay. D2 will definitely be Colombia. I think Brazil will make it out. I think, maybe Brazil and Colombia tie, even though, again, Colombia has beaten Brazil at most recently in their head-to-head. But I still see Brazil pulling out a result. We'll see. That's why I'm excited about the Copa America. It's a lot less teams. It's 16 teams. We're going to get right to it immediately. U.S. versus Colombia, the rematch. How beautiful would that be? How beautiful would it be to see U.S. come back from such a weird loss? And again, Ron, I agree with you. Brazil's going to find a way. But this July 6th game in Vegas, it's pivotal. It's going to be huge. Really excited for that game. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the U.S. are going to come with a different mentality. Again, I just went with a scared U.S. mentality just in my head, and I realized, that's not the intensity that we need to come out in. We need to come out and be very sure of ourselves, because we can beat a team like Colombia, even as how they look right now. We can beat a team like Colombia. So I'm going to go ahead and say U.S. advance, even though it's tough. But all signs should point to that. If things go a different way, the more what we see recently, traditional way, it looks like the U.S. will be playing Colombia at the bottom of the bracket anyway, right? The U.S. could come out second in the group to Uruguay, and then Colombia could get it past Brazil. Again, I think Brazil will get it done. I think U.S. will get it done. And from there, we're just going to move on to the semifinals. And who are we seeing between Brazil and Uruguay? I don't think Uruguay has nearly the history against Brazil, but again, anything can happen. Again, everybody in Brazil are scared. Ask my boy Lancelot right now, but I see Brazil. Do I see Brazil beating Uruguay? I want to see Uruguay play, man. I need to see Uruguay play in this tournament. I can't wait for the groups. I reserve the right to change this, but we're just going with what we know. You know what? F that noise, man. I think I'm gonna see Brazil getting upset. I'm gonna have Uruguay getting back into the semis with US. This is just a split decision. We're gonna need to see more from Brazil. I think Brazil might top their group, but then they might have something silly happen against Uruguay. It's possible. Anything's possible. So a rematch from the group stage, which again is really bizarre. that the brackets work out this way. I'm seeing U.S. versus Uruguay. Let's see. On the other side of things, Argentina, I just don't. It's no question they're going to smash Mexico. They'll smash Venezuela. They'll smash. They should smash Jamaica and again, I think Ecuador is getting out first very easily, so they're not going to play them. So anybody Argentina plays, they're getting at least to the semis. Canada, Ecuador. Jesse Marsh has a real chance to do something here. And Ecuador, again, looked like a good team. They got my boy Moises Caicedo running the midfield. But again, like anything could happen. The Copa is going to be real fun because it's just so much harder to predict. I mean, obviously, we've seen upsets in the Euros, but I'm going to go ahead and say, and it's tough because I don't even have their correct symbol. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Canada gets through. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a nice Canada circle flag so it doesn't look too crazy. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw Canada in there. Because I really do see a new look Canada. And I haven't seen all their friendlies, but it's enough. It's enough to really believe in them. So let's see. Let's throw this country flag of Canada's all the way in. We're gonna put it in this little Photoshop thing. There it is. The big Canadians. Oh, let's make it smaller. But the big Canadians, they could do something here. Can we do this too? Yeah, make it a little transparent. I'm showing you I'm also showing off my design skills as we speak. There it is. Canada. I think Canada is going to play Argentina, and that could be a really interesting game. It still looks weird having Uruguay beat Brazil. Is that wild of me to say? Hold on, I haven't even looked at the chat. Who's with me on this? Again, if you're on TikTok, you get a better viewing experience if you tap in with me on YouTube, youtube.com/eatprayball. Come tap in with me. Come tap in with me and make sure you subscribe and support me. I appreciate y'all. What's Instagram saying? Instagram, y'all around still? Instagram, are you seeing Brazil getting out of the quarterfinals against Uruguay? Right now, I got Uruguay beating Brazil. I don't know why I have an inkling. I have an upset inkling in my head. And I want there to be. I also was going to have Canada upset Argentina, but that just seems a little crazy. We don't have to see. But I do think that would be funny. Yeah, Julio said no one's thinking Brazil is losing to Uruguay. No one's thinking that at all. All good. We never know. So Brazil will find a way, but I think they will still get stomped out by Uruguay. It'll be some tie that goes to PKs. I'm sure of it. Canada, I'm sorry. I don't see Canada losing to Argentina, even though I don't think Argentina have a great team. I think they're set for this tournament. They also are going to be playing free. They've already won what they needed to win. So oh man. Showing you my Photoshop skills. We're going to have to switch to this layer and move Argentina on through to the final. And who are they going to face in the final? None other than the U.S., who's going to win in PKs against Uruguay. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a really down and dirty type of tournament. But can the U.S. get to the final? Why shouldn't they be able to? This is a final that's fit for Brazil and Argentina to face off. And again, if it gets to that would be a really fun thing to watch too. But this is what I want to happen. So that's what I'm having. That's the kind of group I'm creating out of this. U.S. playing Argentina in the final. I don't know why they have two circles. Oh, I guess the red circle is third place. And the champions, I don't know what Oh, I see. The loser goes to third place and they play. I'm not even filling that out. Canada versus Uruguay. Canada. Canada wins third place. But there's no area to put the champions, but I'm gonna go ahead and say US need to pull off results against both Colombia, Uruguay, and then Argentina to make it to the final. Can this US team do it is the question. That's going to be the $1 million question. And we're going to see right now. We're going to look at this lineup. This is the last thing I wanted to do. I'm going to do this powered by FC24. So hop along with me and tell me what you think. This could be this is going to be a really interesting Copa America. David Casillas, my keeper and club manager, telling me I'm high. U.S. not going to win the group. I'm not high yet. It is a holiday in California. It's possible, but no. I certainly think that the U.S. can make it happen, and get out of the group, even top of the group. I think they can get past Uruguay and figure it out. Let's turn on the Xbox. Apparently, the Xbox has been off. I hope my changes saved because I had some changes that I made to the U.S. team to at least include the likes of Haji Wright, the likes of oh no, we're still here. We are still here. All right, so tap in with me here. Let me know what you think about this. We're gonna go ahead and remove this, and we're gonna go ahead and add FC24 to the mix. This is the last thing we're going to do. We're going to look at the U.S. team and see, can this team figure it out? Get all the way to the final. If we get to the final, it doesn't matter. At that point, it's anyone's game. But it's going to be a tough road, and it's a tougher road. This is a tougher side of the bracket for sure. Argentina kind of have it easy, not going to lie. But we're going to see. Let's go to – let me see if the U.S. team sheet saved. And if it didn't, we'll just talk about it. I don't need to make this too specific and too exact. There's enough of these players. Oh man, he's got Daryl DK on here, and they don't have Josh Sargent. Let me go. Let's go back. We're gonna make this quick on FC24. I know. If David Casillas was over here, he would be really helping me out. Well, Sergino Destin is off, and Carter Vicker. Maybe I do have the right people. Mark McKenzie is on the team. You guys can't see what I'm doing out, can you? Let me show you real quick. Let me show you one time. Man, it looks like I'm really lagging. My internet might be really lagging. So if you aren't hearing me, give me 1 second. We plugging in, we tapping in, we live streaming. It's Eat, Pray, Ball. We're just fans of the game trying to talk about the game. So let's talk about it. Who we got? We got FIFA loading. BBL Drizzy. All right, we here. Oh. We're going to do it this way. Bow. 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 Okay. Check it out. On the other side, I see Colombia, Uruguay in the semis, Lancelot says. That is definitely a possibility. If this happens, Ronaldinho is going to be going to come back and play himself. Facts. Is Ronaldinho galvanized the team, or has he just created more angst in the Brazilian camp? It's possible. Yeah, facts. Lancelot says Argentina has an easy way to the final. All right, if you are Gregg Berhalter, why is this mirrored right now? Let's take a look at this. I want you guys to see the right. How do I turn off the mirror? Why are we mirrored? Why are we backwards, guys? What are we doing? What are we doing? Give me 1 second. We're going to turn this. Is that coming from here? Nope, not coming from here. Get it together. Get it together. All right, what we're doing, this is the last thing we're doing. We're looking at these U.S. teams. Do not know why we've got this mirrored right now, but my chat is telling me, what are my Euro predictions? BG, it's on my, I got Euro predictions already up. Go to my live on my YouTube channel, and you can see we did a whole Euro show like we did today. Today, we talking Copa America. Oh, I see video settings. I got to do it on this side. Today we talking Copa America, but Euro predictions in a nutshell, France winning it all. Let me know if I sound crazy. Probably do sound crazy because I'm saying US winning it all here in Copa America, but that's what we need to happen. That's like the confidence. That's the mentality that we need to be bringing in. David Casilla said, checking out the news right now, doesn't seem to be crack house fire in my neighborhood. So what am I smoking? That is hilarious. Nah, we're here, man. We're here. And look, let's pop up FIFA just to make sure, just to know it's real. We got players in the national camp, the likes of Mark McKenzie, Matt Turner, even Horvath, the two keepers. Cameron Carter-Vickers made the lineup. Jedi Robinson. But look, we submit this squad. We're here. Let's go out. I'm not sure. Alexa's over here talking to me. Be mindful of your technology. There's a lot of it in here, and it could kill me if it wanted to. All right, let's take a look at this lineup, man. Alexa's still talking to me. Do y'all see this right now? Oh, shoot. Y'all don't see this because it is on the other side. BBL Drizzy. Maybe a little blurry right now. We're going to get that figured out as this internet. I've been having some real internet issues over here. So no, David, no crack fires, but definitely some internet problems. If you could help me out with that, it would be much appreciated. You might not be able to see it. It's a little blurry, but it's patching through live. Let me try to get it. Over here on this left side, we have Pulisic. Pepe in the middle. Gio Reyna is not in my 11. That's not who we want. Instead, I'm going to throw Tim Weah outside on the right. I think they got the midfield right. Tyler Adams is just getting back healthy. He may not start this first game against Bolivia, though we would want to see him. But definitely Musa balled out in the Brazil game, and when he got his chances, he balled out for AC Milan this year. So would love to see him in the midfield, kind of holding things down. If Tyler Adams can't go, maybe Gio Reyna can come and hold down this sixth position. Again, I think he's a pretty good six. Again, though, in terms of pushing the ball forward, but I don't see him really coming and grabbing that ball from these center backs and really moving, really quarterbacking the game like a Tony Kroos would do, or even Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams is more there because he's really going to yam up anything and really help shore up the defense, which would be great. But again, we are going to have to figure out how to play out of pressure, because that's what Berhalter has us doing. McKinney, again, probably one of the most important players on this U.S. side. So definitely want to see him. Definitely want to see him really come into his own in this tournament. Obviously, Anthony, aka Jedi Robinson, over here on this left. Looks like Tim Ream, how old is he? 39, 38-year-old. He's going to get the start here. Maybe he's 36, 37. Either way, it's not even that he's old, it's that he's unathletic, but he definitely has the football intelligence. So I'm sure he's going to get the start. It says on FIFA right now that he's going to be next to Miles Robinson, who I would love to see in the squad. Haven't seen a lot of Cincinnati's games, so not really sure how he's doing this year. But instead of Austin Trusty, I'll throw him out there. Josh Sargent, it will be on the bench. I think Balogun actually will start, but I prefer Pepe to Balogun in this lineup, quite frankly. And I'll tell you why. Pepe is just a little bit taller. He seems like he can win balls better in the air. He is a certified finisher, whereas Balogun kind of needs a little bit of some touches on the ball in order to utilize his speed and whatnot to ply his trade. So we gonna have to see. I'm trying to see if y'all on Instagram can see this, but yes, Julio, if this happens, I'm a prophet, and I can't wait. I can't wait for this to happen so I can be like, I told y'all this is the new way of the US. TikTok wants me to verify to continue live. We here. TikTok, we here, but if you want to have a good viewing experience, come on over to YouTube, man. Come over and tap in with us. 4-3-3 is what we got rolling. Joe Scally, again, I've already spoken about him. Did pretty good in these last two friendlies in the absence of Serginho Dest. He's going to be the right back. We don't got nobody else, so it's going to be him, and he's got to do his thing. Chris Richards, our best center back, he's going to be back there. Again, our defense is not that good. I think Robinson is really good going forward. Scally is going to be working his ass off to not get exposed up that right side. Adams is definitely going to be coming over to help out with Scally and help out with Anthony Robinson and help Tim Ream, who seems to be missing it. Reyna would be one of my first off the bench, but again, just not showing enough. Brendan Aronson really kind of faded away. Actually, Balogun will probably be one of my first off the bench because, again, U.S., like we know, have real issues scoring. So we're going to need that. The young German-American, Tillman, he looks good. He's very confident, but we'll see how much time he gets. We got Mark McKenzie as well, the American. Obviously, everybody's American. Josh Sargent and Brendan Aronson really seem to have fallen off in terms of the potential that they had and where they were supposed to be by now. Not looking to see a lot of them. Unfortunately, Jesus Ferreira did not make the squad. Horvath, Booths, Austin Trusty, and Haji Wright, another one. He's got to be in the reserves. We need as many attacking options as we can get. I'm going to go ahead and Daryl DK is not even on this team. Or is he? Is Daryl DK playing? I got to double check. But I again, Haji Wright coming on. Again, if I'm starting Pepe, Haji Wright's not going to come on because they're kind of more similar. So I do think we're going to start Balogun just because of what he's done for club this year. But Ricardo Pepi could really add again coming off the bench. So he'd be second off the bench. He'd be first off the bench. Reyna would probably be second off the bench coming in the midfield, even though I know Greg's going to start him. And then I'd throw Haji Wright on to just throw a big body in the box when we really need it. And then that's literally how the U.S. can do it. So that's what I think. I'm going to show you my bracket one more time. But, for now, that's literally what I got going. I think the U.S., this is our chance to really announce ourselves on world stage before the World Cup. We don't need to win this tournament. We should want to. But we don't need to win this tournament, but we damn sure need to get to the semis and into the final if we can. BG, what's happening? Hold on. Lancelot says, who's my dark horse? My dark horse / my team that will fail. My team that will fail, right, is got to be Brazil, right? If Jesse gets them into transition, anything like what he did at Leipzig, Canada will be dangerous. Again, Canada is probably my dark horse, and Brazil will be my disappointment team. That's how I have it kind of lined up right now. It's going to be tough. My top goal scorer of this tournament, most assists, best defender, best midfielder, best goalkeeper. Great questions. Top goal scorer. Are we going Argentina? Are we going Uruguay? The U.S., again, we don't have talismans like that, right? We haven't shown that. Would love to add a U.S. player to the list of top goal scorers. But honestly, the most consistent goal scorers we have are Christian Pulisic and Timothy Weah. Will they be top goal scorers? No, we're more of a eke out games 1-0 team. I've been unrealistic enough. I'm not going to be completely ignorant to the fact that this could happen. But top goal scorer, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to go ahead and say Darwin Núñez. I think Darwin Núñez is going to probably go nuts against Bolivia. We'll probably win 1 or 2-0 against Bolivia. Maybe Uruguay will win 3. My most assists, I can't even call that one. It'll probably be somebody on Argentina's side. We should look at Argentina's team on FIFA just to see what kind of players they have. But yeah, best defender, best midfielder, best goalkeeper. Best goalkeeper between Emi Martinez and Matt Turner. Emi loves playing for his country. He didn't do the best with Villa, but he obviously, they were top of the top 4. So yeah, I think Emi Martinez will probably be the best keeper. Yeah, I told you my dark horses. The team that's the hardest matchup against the U.S. are definitely Uruguay and Colombia. If we end up playing against Colombia, I think that's going to be the biggest game for the U.S. until we make the final and likely play Argentina. So we're going to have to see how that goes. Assists on Argentina, referees giving PK does not account as assists. Hey, man, you got to watch the game for what the game is. David is clearly a devout Cristiano fan and therefore and Spain fan and therefore a Argentina hater. But yeah, that sounds about right. Let me bring up the bracket one more time before we get out of here, just so y'all know it's real. No video feed. We're gonna put FIFA away. It's caulking up my computer a little bit too much. Go ahead and cancel all that stuff. We're gonna throw up my bracket one more time so you guys know it's real. But all that to say, we're going live tomorrow. I'm going live tomorrow, 3 p.m. It is opening day. Is it 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m., 5 p.m., tripping. 5 p.m. opening day of the Copa America. We're gonna see that Jesse Marsh team that our boy AA Ron is talking about. We are going to see how they do against the defending World Cup champions, Argentina. So that will be really fun. That'll be a really fun opening game. The Copa America is going to be fun, man. We're also going live back for the Euros on Friday. France is taking on Netherlands. What a game that will be. I might go live tomorrow for the England match against Denmark. It's at 9 a.m. We're going to be streaming. I'm going to be watching these games. So if I'm watching at home, I'll probably go live right here with y'all so y'all can come tap in with me. Again, I appreciate y'all coming to tap in with me. YouTube.com/@EatPrayBall. Make sure you subscribe. Grow this community. Grow a community of excited fans around the world watching all the ball that we watch. That's what we're doing here. Anything else? What did I say? I said I was going to show my bracket one more time, no matter how embarrassing it may look initially. I'm going to show it. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, buddy. That's what I got. This bracket is World Soccer Talks bracket. I like it. It's colorful. It's nice. There are no fillable brackets on online like there are for Euros. So this is what it is. Again, I have Argentina and Mexico Argentina and Canada getting out of Group A. I got Mexico and Ecuador getting out of Group B, with Ecuador coming first. I might have to change that Mexico thing. I don't have any belief in Mexico. Lancelot's dark horse is Venezuela. It's not a bad dark horse, but I don't see it. But again, I don't know much about Venezuela, so I don't know much about most of these teams, to be honest. Really excited to watch it. Lancelot says, I hope Brazil proves wrong, but I don't think they will do much. Yeah, man, I want to see a good Brazil. I got tickets to the Brazil game, so I want to see them put on a display. They start with Costa Rica. Maybe that can be a good kind of pep-up game, but they really do have to find that DNA between kind of Jenga, play free, and something that actually works and gets them goals and gets them through easily. David Casillas says, hurry up, man. Scotland, Swiss about to start. Hey, man, that's what the watch parties are for. You could throw it on the side, throw it on, we here. Copa America is here tomorrow. Again, Argentina playing Canada to start. I got the U.S. topping Group C, which people think is crazy. They think it might be Uruguay, or y'all might think it might be Panama or Bolivia. I don't know. But my guess is the group is Canada, is U.S. I think Brazil will do well in the group and then fumble against Uruguay in this quarterfinal. And then we'll go to the semis, and Uruguay will play against the U.S. as like a rematch to the group stages. So really pay attention to the U.S. versus Uruguay game. I think they're playing that in Atlanta on June 28th. We'll have to see about that. And then I got U.S. beating Uruguay, somehow digging it out, and Argentina, who have literally a cakewalk all the way to the final. But I'm really interested to see this semifinal possibility, possible matchup between Canada and Argentina. Canada is my dark horse team outside of, I guess, the U.S., right? But again, U.S., we need a different mentality here. We're not dark horses. We're kings of CONCACAF, and we need to go and show what being the kings of CONCACAF can do against CONMEBOL teams, right? So Canada will be the dark horse. Brazil will be the unfortunate flubs, and I'm hoping that the U.S. can get to the final. And from that, anything can happen. That's all I got for you. I will clip some of these to show my predictions over the time. But yeah, come tap in with me tomorrow, man. We're going to be watching live. We're going to be watching definitely this Argentina-Canada opener live. Lancelot, I appreciate you as always for tapping in. I appreciate everybody else who popped in. David Casillas says 5-0 Uruguay USA. Valverde with 4 goals and 1 assist. Tell me you're a Real Madrid fan without telling me you're a Real Madrid fan. I'm surprised. And what do you think? Where do you think Brazil's going to pop in? Let me see if there's anybody else on Instagram who's got any kind of take we can go ahead and throw on tape so you know it's real. Lady Bree joined, our resident Liverpool fan from South Africa. What's happening, Bree? Big love. Hope all is well. Uruguay, baby. That's who she's saying. Lady Bree's got Uruguay doing the damn thing. We'll see. She's going Darwin Núñez all the way. I'm tripping. I forgot you're a Liverpool fan. Just like that. Like, we all have our club loyalties. Listen, this is all about my loyalty to the crest. This is all about US. So we're going to see what happens, man. But yeah, tap in with me tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going live. I'll put it up on my YouTube. Make sure you stay tapped in with me on Instagram and YouTube. That's where you get the most information about what we're up to. I'll go live at 9 a.m. to watch this England-Denmark game. It should be a fun one. I've had a lot of criticism about Phil Foden. So let's see what he does against Denmark. Lancelot says, see you there. David says, Brazil gonna win. We gonna see. But to that point, we are gonna see, and it should be a fun time. Make sure you're there. We're here. We're all gonna be watching these games. Make sure you tap in. Tell me what. Only Lancelot gave real predictions. David, if you want to throw out some predictions that we can put on tape so I can make fun of you when you miss out, go ahead and say it. Brazil gonna win is his prediction. And then he's got Spanish flags left and right and left and right. Go ahead, David, with the Spanish flags. Is that who your Euros winner is? Because I got Spain losing to Scotland, even though Scotland's probably not getting out of the group. It's wild. I needed an upset. We all need an upset. Anyway, that's it from me, y'all. We here. That's Ball Around the World. I appreciate you from tapping in with me. We are going live tomorrow. Tap in with me tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and then again 5 p.m. Pacific time later in the day to watch the opener of the Copa America. We got a summer full of soccer. Don't let me get started on the Paris Olympics. We're coming. Paris Olympics, we're coming. But for now, Copa America tomorrow. Let's make it a good one, okay? I will holler at y'all later. Peace out, y'all. Perfect.